back to another Parts Factory Australia installation tutorial video. Guys, I'm back out in the farm. I'm working on this Holden Commodore. Specifically, I'm going to be replacing the notorious starter motor on all of the Alloytec 3.6 litre or the 3 litre V6 motors. Guys, super common problem on the that particular vehicle. It's the Holden Commodore between about 05, the VZ, all the way up until like 2018, the current shapes even. The Alloytec starter motor busts out prematurely. Maybe you get 5-6 years use out of it. Guys, if you do need them, we've got them available here at Parts Factory. As you can see, they are an OEM replica. Come with a 3-year warranty included. I'll ship it to your door, then use this video. I'll show you how to fit it. Save yourself some money. That's what we're all about here at Parts Factory. If you guys are interested in the product, click on the title of the video. The description pops down. Click the link, order it, get it in your hand. Use this video to save yourself some money. Alrighty, let's jump into it. Hey guys, first things first, the starter motor is located underneath the vehicle. So you got to get the vehicle up in the air. I've got my trusty forklift here. She's a 7-tonner, so easily picks up these 1.5 ton Commodores. Guys, you will have your car in your driveway. You'll have tires on it. So you use a regular floor jack on each side. Jack up this side, put a floor jack under it. Jack up the other side, put a floor jack under it. Get it up. And put a jack stand rather than just floor jacks, so you got a bit of safety there, guys. Get it up about maybe knee high up in the air in the front, so you can at least squeeze in under there and access the starter motor area. But before you do that, disconnect your negative terminal on your battery. That way all of the electrical system is shut down and you're not going to run into any dramas with any electrical problems underneath the car. So I'm going to lift this car up now. I'm going to get up underneath it and I'll show you where we're working. Alrighty guys, so I am underneath the car right now. You want to be on the passenger side if you're in Australia. Cruise up underneath the vehicle. Obviously you guys will have an exhaust pipe that runs here, so it will run like this and it might be in your way a bit. So you need to come forward on the car and look straight up like that, because your cat is going to be like here. So you'll be able to see that bolt there, and that bolt there will be a pain in the ass to get to. The way you do it is you got to remove this Torx bit, and then you can grab this heat shield and bend it down out of your way. And then, yeah, so this one's not too bad to get to, right? But it's going to be that one that's a bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm sure we'll work it out. Don't forget, guys, you can go through here as well. Straight through there. A lot of people are going to go for that top bolt through here and that bottom bolt under here. Alrighty, let's rip into it. So I'm going to start with the heat shield. So I'm just going to use a little T25 and we're going to pop this little heat shield out of our way, because the only way to get up in there is to remove this heat shield and then, yeah, get in there and get these bolts. Now, if the exhaust is in your way, go that way. And if it's still in your way, then it's going to have to come out. But I've done these before back in my wrecking yard days without pulling the exhaust. So you can see how that heat shield is now just ready to pop out. You can pop it out, completely move it out of your way. And then, yeah, we're now going to grab our little, can I have that little socket? It is a 7/16 socket. If you do not have E sockets, a 7/16 will fit in there nicely, just like that. And then you grab a little wrench. If you can crack it with just a small little wrench, then good on you. But if you can't, grab an extension like this one. If you've got the right size, you can then crack those bolts like that. And then, yeah, hopefully you can then just undo them by hand. Give me a sec. Alrighty guys, so you can see I've just cracked it there. And once you've cracked it, you can then just undo it. Now guys, as I am out on the field, I don't have access to specialist equipment. If the exhaust is too far in your way, you can even use an electric side gun, which is those little ratchets with electric, electric push. Or you can use a ratchet spanner. You can go straight through this hole up to there and then just go bzz, bzz, etc, etc. But yeah, obviously my exhaust isn't there, so I can just use this little wrench. Now let me just put my big spanner on like I did before. Oh, okay, so once you've cracked those 2 bolts, guys, your starter motor is going to drop out, but good news is it's going to drop onto that cable. So it's not too big of a problem. So get it completely out like I'm doing. Okay, all right, so now we're going to pull that bolt out. She's a bit longer, that one, I think. Oh no, same. You can leave your tools just somewhere in the way, and then you can just go like this. Once again, the exhaust is going to be in your way, most likely. But let's see if I can get it out without taking the exhaust out. I feel like you can. Maybe not. Okay guys, so I've gotten this far and I've realized even with my exhaust cut off, exhaust got to come off anyway, which is probably good anyway, because that way I get to show you how to do it. So if you come along here, you'll notice that this one, basically on that side where the starter motor is, you're going to have these little, just come over here for a sec. You're going to have to disconnect this part of the exhaust. Come over here for a sec though. You can see here, you got these 14 mils. You're going to have to undo them. Now, when you go to undo them, odds are you're going to strip the bolt. So be ready to replace these bolts. They are just, yeah. See, this is where it gets a little bit more technical, guys. It depends on the car, it depends on each situation though. Your Commodore might not be as rusty as this one. Your Commodore might be even more rusty. You might have aftermarket extractors. You might even have extractors that mean you don't have to pull the starter motor, the exhaust off. It's situational. If you do have these rusty bolts, unfortunately, they're most likely going to break. Try your best to not make them break. But yeah, this cat's coming off 100% to get the starter motor out. So let's give it a go. So I brought the car down, as we have got the starter motor kind of moving in there, don't we? But we can't actually get it out without pulling the exhaust off. Now, to pull the exhaust off, obviously yours is going to be much tighter than all this. Let's have a look here. You basically need to get that heat shield off, and to do that, we need to undo. Let me just focus this. 1, 2, and there's going to be most likely no 1 and 2 bolts, and then undo this oxygen sensor. You can just depress the tab, pop it off, and then yeah, that heat shield will pop up and out of the way. Right, so to get into that area, you actually got to remove this little box here. It is just a 14 or 13 mil. You got one here and one over here. And I'm thinking this box is just going to lift up. Alrighty, so I'm going to undo this one here. And over here. If you could just kind of like squeeze it in there and then just make sure you don't drop it. Because obviously that'll be a pain. Must be another one, right? So in order to get this box, we did those 2 bolts, but there's 2 more down there, which is absolutely mental. This is a bit of a dodgy design, this one, but actually no, it's only 1. So we're just going to get that 1 at the top, and I'm hoping this box lifts out. So if you do drop it, don't be too afraid, because it doesn't look like it's going to get caught anywhere too crazy. But see if you can not drop it. That way we can just get all this nice and easy. Let's see if we can pull that up now. What else have we got? Maybe there's another thing holding it? Yeah, there's another one behind all this heat shield way down the back over there. Track this one down further, you'll find another 12 mil down the back. We're going to get that one out as well, because I'm fairly certain once we get this out of the way, we'll be able to get into that exhaust area a bit easier. Guys, so this fire retardant sheeting obviously blocks your view to get in there to get that 12 mil. So I have pulled mine out of the way, but because you don't have anything to film, and all you do is you grab that sheeting, move it to the left and get that 12 mil. That's the last one, and this box will come out. So we'll get this last one down the back, and then I'm hoping taking this box out is going to be the thing that's worth it, if you know what I mean. Alrighty. So we're in there a lot better because our exhaust is just here now. So I'm going to pull this dipstick out of my way. Yep, and then this means now I can get a 12 mil very easily straight through there. What do you got? You got one up here like we discussed before, one down there, and I can get now through with rattle gun nice and easy. And I'm hoping we can then just squeeze that manifold past the oxy sensor and then drop it down out of our way. So let's give that a try. So I've got my little 10 mil on the wobbler. So that's come out nice and easy. I'm going to drop my bolt underneath and get it later. Or unless I can grab it here. Whatever's easier, guys. If you want to, you can just allow it to fall and pick it up later, or just grab it here. So I've got it kind of on my hand. Yep, I got it, okay. In my little bolt pile. Now you got the same thing, don't forget, on top of the oxy sensor, another little 10 mil. Make sure you're lining up that socket correctly before you go for it. Again, if you can get it out without dropping it, nope, it's gone underneath, that's okay, I'll grab it later. So let's see if this will move now. Hopefully that's it, but I mean, if history repeats itself, this job might be harder than I thought. Okay, so there is one over here to the right, but the good news is it's super easy to get to. You can see it over there, just over there, there you go. Now again, we can just drop this in. And we're just going to go brrr, making sure it's on correctly. Now you can see that that is now moving around, which is good news for us because we will just bring it up into the air. You basically just need to squeeze it past the oil dipstick. Yes, you can be a little rough with these aluminium pieces because you can just bend and manipulate them. To get what you want, basically. Instead of, or you could pull your oxy sensor out, but for me, I've always found that as soon as you muck with an oxygen sensor, if you round that, etc., you're going to cause yourself a lot more harm than what an aluminium shroud is worth. Let's wrap this around here and allow this to now drop down or come up, whichever's easier. Even if you, with these hoses, you can slightly move them, not too hard, but you can definitely move them without causing yourself too much drama. These are always a bit of a pain in the ass, these shields. There you go there, so these popped up. Now you can see, where are we? 1, 2, 3. And this whole exhaust is going to drop down because we've already undone our oxy sensor. Boom, down underneath, ready to go. Alrighty guys, it's now time for the moment of truth. You got these 3 15s in here. Looks like 2 of them are going to be fairly easy to get to if you've got the right tools. Again, you can move around, slightly manipulating this type of area. If your rattle gun can't get it, what we're going to do is use a regular bar. But hopefully you guys have a large enough rattle gun just to get that nice and easy. Just bearing in mind, that, again, these are all rusty bolts. So just be gentle, you don't want to just strip it straight away and then you're up for a lot bigger cost, etc. Obviously, if you guys are not out in the field and you've got the correct tools rather than my dodgy little spanner setup. Oh. I think I have got it, thank God, because for a second there, I thought I stripped it. Yep, I do. Now you can leave it in. Oh, I pulled the stud out of the exhaust, which is perfectly okay, guys. Don't stress out if that happens. Once again, you've got one down there. Now it's looking like I may need to use like a wobbler setup, or in your case, you will have hopefully the correct tools. You just get a longer one of these. Alrighty guys, so I've grabbed a wobbler. I'm hoping this one isn't too tight because I don't have the right tool to get this last bolt. Okay, she's a bit tight. So I'm gonna get a big extension and try a regular bar. I'm hoping we just got it. If you feel like you cracked it, then you can grab your rattle gun and hopefully you get it just like that. Once again, try and keep your bolts. And then yeah, at this point, we can now go underneath because I believe that that exhaust will have dropped down. And yeah, hopefully we get the starter motor out. There you go. So, you're going to have a big cat here, just chilling. Doesn't look like there's any oxygen sensors because they're at the back here and at the top, which is good news because we've already undone our top one. Then you've got those little 14, 15 mils we discussed. Again, they're going to be rusty, so maybe try and put some WD-40 on it, let it sit, or anti-rust, or whatever you want. There is going to be specific tools for certain conditions. Like this one, if you do round off the bolt, then just go to a hardware shop and get those easy, sort of the ones that bite as you twist. Try and get them off without damaging it. Then replace the 14 mil nut. That way it's all good, and try and get stainless steel. Whatever, that's up to you depending on the situation. But once you have gotten your exhaust off, which I've just got to twist this little 14 a little bit more, hang on. Okay, and then I've got that last 14 off the top. So now, once you've got this and those top ones we've just undone, your cat will just drop out like so, bang, and it will be sitting here in your hand. Move it to the side. You are going to be reusing this, obviously. And at that point, you can then just look straight up into here, grab your starter motor, wobble it out, drop it down, spin it around, unplug that electrical plug, which is just chilling. Sometimes you might need a little flathead screwdriver, but no, we've got it. That looks like a 12 mil, guys. We'll undo that with a little rattle gun, keep it easy. Alrighty, guys, so I've got my little 12 mil here. So I'm just going to cruise through to this hole, and then, yep, you can just go pop it off, keep that bolt, but the new one comes with a new one anyway, so don't stress out about it too much. Wire is holding your starter motor, so you can just take the weight off it, give it a wiggle, and it is going to come off. And there it is there, guys. That's how you remove a starter motor on a VE Commodore. Much harder than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. Now, obviously, you guys need to re-put your new one in. That's why you're here in the first place. This is a record car, so obviously I'm not going to, but I will give you the rundown just quickly. Alrighty, guys, so as you can see, this is the parts factory one. They are an OEM replica, literally exactly the same, including the correct plug type. If you have a VZ Commodore, the VZ Commodore has a flat blade terminal, so you would just buy a VZ Commodore starter motor. But if you have a VE, this is a direct plug and play. Bang, and then yeah, throw it back in. Now, as I just said earlier, I'll give you the quick demo of how the new one would go back in. Don't forget your heat shield's got to go back on. That will prolong the life of your new one. But yeah, as I said, we're going to put this one back up in there, earth strap back on. So remember, you can put it up like this. Okay, so we're just going to push that in like so, and you grab a little bolt, which is over there somewhere, and obviously put the 12 mil back in. You want to tighten that up, plug your activator plug back in. You obviously then just bring your starter motor back up, kind of like pushing it in. It is a bit of a pain, but it is better than taking your exhaust manifold off like a lot of the YouTube videos are going to tell you to do. You do not have to do that. You can just get it out without taking that off. It does require a bit of patience, but look at that. She goes right in. And make sure that little electrical trigger plug is. 2 bolts in. Tighten them up pretty tight. Oh, firm. Put that heat shield back on. Don't forget the little Torx bit to hold it on properly. Once you're done under here, you can then bring your cat back up. Have someone on the top put those 14 mils as you raise the cat into place. Tighten them up nice. Come here. This is where you connect the cat with this thing. Make sure that on the cat, around the edge of the metal is all like straight and there's no rust. It's not falling apart. Clean it up with some sandpaper if you want. And you meet these together. You got those 14 mils. You hopefully got some stainless steel 14 mil nuts. Tighten it up nice. Not too nice that you snap it though. It's literally like, oh, but if you keep going, reefing on it, it's going to snap that rusty metal, that old metal. Okay, of course, once you're done under here, that's great. We're going to bring it down. You've then got that plastic cover to put back in, but of course, we're going to tighten up those bolts. Don't forget to tighten up your exhaust bolts. Put this plastic cover in, those 14 mils, and of course, the cover that goes on the top of this, and then negative terminal back on. give it a try, guys. Once you've got that negative terminal back on, the car's live again. Try out your new starter motor, and hopefully she's good to go. Alrighty, guys. I know I have cut this one short. It's getting a bit cold, and I know that you should be able to sort it out, because if you can get it out, you'll be able to get it back in. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching another Parts Factory Australia installation tutorial video. My name's Lucas. I'll see you next time.